You think you know Diddy, right? The music, the Ciroc, the larger-than-life persona.
Yeah, yeah.
But this time, the beats dropped on a scandal that's shaking the music world to its core. This isn't about a hit song.
Yeah.
This is about Diddy facing federal charges, and we're talking serious time, like potentially life in prison.
And what's fascinating here is this case, it goes way beyond just another celebrity arrest,
Yeah.
We're talking about Sean Diddy Combs. This is a man who built an empire on his image, on his name. He wields influence in music, in fashion, even in television.
He's everywhere.
This arrest, it isn't just about Diddy. It's about power.
Yeah.
It's about the potential abuse of that power.
Right.
And it's about the legal system trying to hold someone at the top accountable.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The feds arrested Diddy Monday, September 16th, right here in New York City. The charge.
Racketeering conspiracy.
Racketeering conspiracy.
Right.
Now, you might be thinking Goodfellas.
Right.
And you wouldn't be entirely wrong.
No, you wouldn't. Racketeering, it's often associated with organized crime.
Right.
Essentially, it means engaging in this pattern of illegal activities.
Right.
And you're doing it to further a business.
To further an enterprise.
An enterprise, yeah.
So it's not just like a one-off thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, right? These aren't just isolated incidents that the indictment is alleging. It suggests a potential pattern.
A pattern of behavior.
Of criminal behavior.
Wow.
Potentially woven into Diddy's business dealings.
And it gets even heavier because the indictment specifically calls out sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Now, before we go any further, let's be crystal clear about what that actually means. We're not talking about, salacious rumors here. We're talking about the real deal. Sex trafficking involves exploitation, exploiting someone for commercial sex. And that exploitation can take many forms. Force, fraud, coercion.
Absolutely.
It's a serious human rights violation.
It is.
And the potential consequences for Diddy are massive.
Up to life in prison.
Up to life. And this isn't the first time Diddy's faced accusations like this. Just recently, he was hit with a $100 million default judgment in another sexual assault case.
That's right, a default judgment.
Now, for our listeners, a default judgment means Diddy didn't even participate in his own defense in that case.
Wow.
Which honestly raises a ton of questions, like, why not?
Yeah. It's a strategy that, on the surface, seems baffling, right? It makes you wonder if this is part of a larger pattern or a calculated legal tactic.
Right.
What's his team thinking?
Exactly. So this particular case, this $100 million one, this involves allegations from Derek Lee Cardello Smith. And he claims Diddy drugged and assaulted him back in 1997. And get this, it's alleged that Diddy's team tried to make the whole thing disappear, even reportedly offering Cardello Smith $2.3 million to drop the suit.
Wow. $2.3 million.
To just walk away.
And what's important to note here is the alleged incident with Cardello Smith, it allegedly took place near Detroit.
Okay.
And Detroit, a place with deep roots in the music industry.
Of course, yeah.
And if memory serves, a place where Diddy had connections.
Okay.
It begs the question, could there be more to uncover?
Yeah. And that's where the story takes another twist, because this isn't just about one man's alleged actions, is it? This is about Diddy's empire.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about someone worth an estimated $800 million.
$800 million?
Ciroc.
Yeah.
Sean, John, you name it. Diddy's touched it and made bank doing it.
Absolutely.
And it makes you wonder, with that kind of wealth and influence, can anyone really face the full force of the law?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Diddy has already offered a $50 million bond for house arrest.
$50 million.
Which was denied.
Denied. $50 million, and they still said no. Now, that's saying something. Does this signal a shift in how the justice system handles cases like this?
Or is it a sign that the system works differently depending on who's in the courtroom? We've seen this before, haven't we? The disparity between how the justice system treats the wealthy and powerful versus everyone else.
It's a different game.
Right.
It makes you wonder, is this just Diddy trying to leverage his wealth, or are we witnessing the legal system actually pushing back?
Yeah, and we can't forget about those freak-offs detailed in the indictment.
Oh, yeah.
These alleged parties where Diddy is accused of providing drugs, potentially that pink powder mentioned in the articles, likely ecstasy, and engaging in or facilitating sexual acts with allegedly drugged victims, it paints a dark picture.
Yeah.
One that goes beyond a simple night of partying.
It's heavy stuff. And remember that previous lawsuit where Diddy was accused of asking staff to get drugs for him? It's starting to feel like a pattern, right? Like these accusations, if true, are part of a bigger problem.
A problem that goes beyond one man and speaks to something darker, potentially lurking beneath the surface of the music industry as a whole.
And this isn't just gossip, right?
No.
These allegations against Diddy, if true, force us to look at this potentially ugly side of an industry we usually see through, the lens of glamour and success.
It's like we're seeing behind the curtain.
Right.
And what we're finding is that the pursuit of fame and fortune, it can sometimes come at a very, very high human cost.
Yeah.
The music industry in particular, it has a history of this, right? Sweeping these allegations of abuse under the rug,
Yeah.
especially against women.
That's true. And for a lot of people, this feels different, like a potential turning point. Do you think this could be the moment the music industry finally reckons with this dark side?
Mm-hmm.
Or will it be back to business as usual after the headlines fade?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will we see a real shift in the power dynamics of the music industry? A genuine effort to protect the vulnerable?
Right.
Or will this be another case of damage control
Right.
and carefully crafted PR statements?
And what makes this case even more complex is the sheer size of Diddy's empire.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't just some guy with a record deal.
No,
We're
no.
talking about a mogul with his fingerprints all over the business world.
Across industries.
If these charges stick, what kind of impact could that have on Diddy's businesses?
The potential fallout is huge, right?
Yeah.
We're already seeing brands distancing themselves,
Oh, yeah.
worried about being associated with these allegations.
Right.
Sponsorships could disappear overnight.
Wow.
Partnerships could crumble.
Right.
And remember, for celebrity entrepreneurs like Diddy,
Right.
personal branding and legal risk, they're deeply intertwined.
Yeah, they're one and the same almost at this point, right?
Absolutely.
That's true. I mean, this case really highlights how quickly those dominoes can fall.
Yeah.
Even before his arrest, Diddy's billion-dollar partnership with Diageo, the company behind Ciroc, had ended.
Right.
Makes you wonder if this case played a role in their decision to cut ties.
The timing is certainly interesting.
Yeah.
Diageo, they reportedly paid Diddy $1 billion over the course of their partnership.
$1 billion.
But even that kind of money, it doesn't buy you immunity from bad press.
Right. No, it doesn't. And at the end of the day, you have to wonder if it's even worth it for these brands, right?
Right, exactly.
To protect their own image. So it makes you think about all the moving parts here. The business deals, the legal strategies, the potential ramifications for an entire industry. And in the middle of it all is Diddy facing accusations that could destroy everything he's built.
It's a high-stakes game.
Yeah.
And the stakes just got a whole lot higher.
And we can't forget about the fans.
Right.
Diddy's music, it's been the soundtrack to countless lives, right? How does this news impact his legacy? How do people reconcile the artist they love with the allegations he's facing?
That's a tough one. Music, it has this unique power, right, to connect with us on an emotional level.
Yeah.
And for some fans, this news might feel like a personal betrayal.
Yep.
They might feel disillusioned, even angry.
Right.
For others, it might be easier to separate the art from the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing to hold on to the music they love while still acknowledging the seriousness of these accusations.
It's a lot to process. I mean, on one hand, you've got the music, the success story, the Diddy we thought we knew.
Right.
And then on the other, these really disturbing allegations and this legal battle that could have, like, massive ripple effects.
It raises so many questions about how we as a culture grapple with these situations.
Mm-hmm.
Can we separate the art from the artist?
Right.
Is it even possible to hold on to the good parts of somebody's work while also acknowledging the harm that they may have caused?
It's tough.
There are no easy answers, are there?
No, there aren't. And this case with Diddy facing a potential life sentence, I mean, this goes way beyond a slap on the wrist. This feels different. This feels like a turning point.
And part of that shift comes from the fact that we're even having these conversations.
Right.
The public is more aware now than ever before, I think, about these issues of power and privilege, particularly in industries like music and entertainment.
Yeah, for sure.
Social media has given a voice to those who were previously silenced.
It's true.
And there's a growing demand for transparency, for accountability.
Like the old playbook, the one where wealth and influence shielded people from facing real consequences, it's not working like it used to.
Exactly. The rules of the game are changing.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But real change, it takes more than just awareness, right?
Right.
It requires action. Holding people in positions of power accountable for their actions, regardless of their wealth or their status.
So as we kind of dive into these last few pieces of this puzzle, it's impossible to ignore this huge question that's looming over everything.
Right.
Can someone like Diddy, with all of his money and all of his influence, can they ever truly face the full force of the law?
I mean, that's a question that extends far beyond this case.
Of course.
I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
The wealthy and powerful, they seem to operate under this different set of rules.
Right.
And it erodes the public trust in the justice system.
For sure.
It raises these serious concerns about fairness and about equality.
So it makes you think, is this arrest, are these charges, are they a sign that things are finally changing?
Mm-hmm.
That maybe the old rules don't apply anymore?
Yeah. It's too early to say for sure.
Right.
But there's a sense of hopefulness here, a sense that maybe, just maybe, we're actually witnessing a shift in the balance of power.
And as this story continues to unfold, I think it's on all of us, right?
Yeah.
To stay informed,
Absolutely.
to ask the tough questions,
Yeah.
and to demand better from those in positions of power.
100%.
This isn't just about Diddy. This is about demanding justice, demanding fairness for everyone.
Well said.
Well, this has been a deep dive into a story that's really captivated the nation. We've been talking about some serious issues, some important questions about power, about accountability, and about the price of fame.
A lot.
Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and keep asking those tough questions.